So recall we named these divinities. We spoke about their role, and we spoke about these personalities. And we explained the three outcomes of the weighing of the heart. Number one, your heart can be heavier than the feather of Ma'at, and that's characterized by guilt, unrighteousness, remorse, resentment, etc. If that occurs, we spoke about the process of rebirth, coming back and undergoing disturbing conditions of the mind, as exemplified by Amit here. The second outcome is your heart can be just as light as a feather of Ma'at, can be equal. And under those conditions, you obtain an existence in the astral plane where you continue your spiritual journey. The third outcome is your heart can be lighter than the feather of Ma'at, which is characterized by a complete cleansing of the unconscious mind. And under that condition, you're led by Heru into the shrine to become one with the star. So when you're going into the shrine, you're going into the realm of non-duality. So when I say you're going to be with Asar, it means that you're essentially one with Asar. There's no distinguishing features between you and Asar. And keep in mind that the personality, Nefer, and we'll speak a little bit more about his name shortly. This whole process is occurring within the mind. So this is the Ka of Nefer. It's not his physical body. And these are emblems. These are symbols of aspects of the personality, the mind. So Hunefer is the Ka. Anpu is purified instinctual mind. Amit is the nightmarish suffering conditions that occur. Chehuti is your divine intellect. And Heru is your spiritual victory, spiritual aspiration aspect. And the important point to understand is that all of these features are within you. You get to escape the process of Amit if your unconscious mind is sufficiently purified. Then that disintegrates. If your heart is lighter than the feather of Ma'at, then all of these features, the intellect, the instinctual mind, the Ka, your spiritual aspiration aspect all disintegrates, meaning you become absorbed in your spirit soul essence, which is exemplified by Asar. And you see Asar painted green. It means that the spirit enlivens nature, time and space, is the the essence that sustains the appearance of nature. He's wearing what is referred to as an Atef crown, which is essentially a hedget, a white crown with two plumes adjoined, which represent these two goddesses, Aset and Nebehet. He holds a crook, the Heket, and the flail, the Nekaku. And the Heket represents the capacity to lead the flock to truth, which is the spirit nature of being. The Nekaku represents the capacity to separate illusion from reality, to separate the spirit from ego by essentially discovering the illusory nature of ego and there the discovery of spirit consciousness. Another important feature is here is Anpu working the scale. He's sitting on a shrine. And if you look closely, he has the face of a jackal, a dog. And he has a nipple on his chest, a female nipple, the nipple of a breast. What that means is that essentially this divinity is androgynous. You have to remember that these are conceptions of psychological processes, psycho-metaphysical processes. So all of this is occurring within you. And so your purified instinctual mind is neither absolutely male nor absolutely female. It's mind. And if it's purified, then you remove from the lower instinctual movement of the mind, which a lower instinctual movement will be like seeking out procreation. When the instinctual mind is purified, then that aspect of mind generates the capacity to lead you into the hall of the weighing of the heart. And the text itself tells us the process that is going on. So the last time we looked at this portion of the text, here, from here to here. And we're going to look a little bit of what this divinity, the words pertaining to this divinity, in other words, what he says. So his name is here. His epithets are here. So Meduje and Jehuti. So words pertaining to Jehuti. Neb, Netera. So words of Lord Jehuti, the great divinity. And so we're going to look at this portion of the text from here to here to you'll to so that the everything that was explained, you'll see how it's written in the text, in other words. So Asar, Su, Sesh, Nefer, Au, Ab, Ber, Ab, Aka, Bu. So Asar, which Asar is the initiatory name of the royal, the spiritual initiate, who is Nefer. So Asar, the royal scribe, Nefer. The term Nefer, his name, means beautiful boundlessness. And there's a determinative here for a noble personality. So beautiful boundlessness. Boundlessness relates to the uncircumscribed nature of spirit, which is the term Hu. And Nefer means beauty or beautiful. So beautiful boundlessness. Au, proceed, ab, heart. So his heart proceeds. F, his. So in other words, it is his heart that is proceeding through the process. So his heart is coming in here. So and the heart is the unconscious mind. Bird, heard, meaning coming forth, personality. I said ab the first time, but it's a heard. Heard, coming forth through Ak, the hall of the wing of the heart. So Aka, AQA, and the determinative of the balance scale. Bu, which means that like the site or the location. So Asar, the royal scribe Nefer, is proceeding with his heart coming forth is his personality through the hall of the weighing of the heart in this location, this site where it's being done. So we can see that the text is telling us what is happening, that his heart is coming forth to be weighed at the balance scales. So his unconscious mind. And as we said before, when the unconscious mind is weighed, it determines the destiny of the soul, fortune and destiny, which are the hands of Jehuti, Sharon Renanet, so destiny and fortune. Of Lord Jehuti. And they're tied. So your fortune and your destiny is tied to your intellect. So if your intellect is well honed in the nature of self, conjoined with a purified instinctual mind, you're going to have a propitious outcome. So how do you generate a propitious outcome? This divinity, Jehuti, which is one of the most dynamic divinities in the Kemetic system. There's a lot to him. But before we do that, I just want to say that you see that the what appears to be all these male divinities. Well, firstly, you have the female divinities as well. You have Ma'at here, here, here. You have Renet here. And you have a Set and Nebuchadnezzar here. The point being is that this process occurs in every human being, male or female, and that these divinities are aspects of every human being's psyche, male or female. Just that when the sages are putting these things together, they have to construct them in a way that is able to support the philosophy and how the mind actually works. So intellect is more of a male aspect, whether you're female or male. The intellect has more of an emotive power to it. Whereas intuition, which is goddess Aset, have more of a feeling, introverted, introspective aspect to it. And the highest intuition is knowing without cognition. So all of these occur within you. So how do you generate a propitious outcome? how you, speaking metaphorically now, standing here, and Heru is leading you into the inner shrine to be one with Asar. This divinity, Jehuti, in the temple of Abydos, there are 7 shrines and 1 shrine to each of the divinities, Asar, Set, Heru, Amun, Ra, Ptah, and then there's a shrine to Seti, Seti Ua. And in there, it's been pointed out that Jehuti bestows the boon of yoga mysticism onto the spiritual initiate. And there are 4 aspects to the yogic process. Rek, which is wisdom, Rek Sheti, wisdom teachings, philosophy. Uwa Sheti, meditation. Uwashu Sheti, devotion. And Ma'at Ari, righteous action. And you put those 4 together, you practice those qualitatively on a daily basis. And then there are other practices as well, the ritual performances, etc. Chanting the divine name, specific meditations. So in other words, the spiritual discipline is what leads you to the propitious outcome. The propitious outcome doesn't come just by wishing it or hoping for it, or you have to fight your way through the netherworld and stuff like that. It's what is accomplished in your spiritual journey through your spiritual practices is what determines the outcome. How well you're able to discover, or your depth of discovery of the true nature of self, concomitant with the elimination of negative emotional states and conditions. So now we'll go back to the text.